If you want to send payments with Tone, you'll need to set up your wallet. We have an article on this over at the Help Center, how to enable payments in Tone. This covers a lot of what I'm about to walk through. So after you first log in, we need to go to Company Settings, then Funding Setup. And we partner with a company called Airwallex to support these international payments. And to enable the feature, we require you to go through what's called a KYC process. This involves providing various documents on the structure and nature of your business. You can see some of those listed here. We also have a link that you can follow to an Airwallex page that describes more about what these are and why you need to provide them. So click Get Started to begin working through the form. I am actually going to skip to the end here because this form will be a little different for everyone based on your company structure. So once you've completed the form, you'll see this review page where you can submit. Airwallex will then review your submission and, assuming everything is in order, approve within a couple of days. So now Airwallex has approved our account, and approval unlocks two important things. First, you can view and fund your wallet, and secondly, your payees can enter their payment and tax details into Tone. Now that we're approved, the funding setup page shows our wallet account details, and this tells us how we fund the wallet. You can see either you can make an ACH or wire transfer to the wallet, and this is something you have to do outside of Tone from your bank account website, most likely. We provide an ACH routing number and account number. This is the destination details you would need to enter in when you're setting up a transfer. And for wire transfer, you can see we have a SWIFT code and a Fedwire routing number that you can use. In order to see your current wallet balance, especially after funding, you would come up to here and click on this link to your wallet. And right now it's going to be empty because I have not funded yet. But this is where you would see wallet transactions like funding, payments, they would all be listed here along with your balance. And then the deposit instructions here just links back to that page we just saw with the ACH and wire transfer instructions. As I mentioned, payees can now also log in and enter their details. This is the payee portal in Tone where I have the option to add my payment info. On this form, I can enter my account details, and we support paying either business or individual bank accounts. In this case, I'm going to choose individual, and then you get an option for various transfer methods. So for US payees, they're typically going to choose something like ACH, which is going to be generally the cheapest option. And then I can enter in my account details. Bank details are stored securely with Airwallex once you submit this form. Once your wallet is approved and payees have provided their details, you're almost ready to issue payments. Your wallet balance will be zero, however, so we need to add funds. How much do we need to fund? Well, it will depend on your payee statement balances. I've set up a statement batch, and when I select statements to pay, Tone will calculate the amount I need to fund, taking into account my current wallet balance. On the pay column, I'll click here to filter on all payable statements and then click Pay All. Now you can see the total of the selected amounts to be paid, any transaction fees for payouts, and then this total to pay out. This is the amount that will be deducted from my wallet when I click Issue Payments. I need to fund this amount plus this funding fee, and for ACH that's 25 cents. If I click Add Funds, we'll see the same funding instructions that we saw earlier on the funding setup page. This amount here, minimum amount to send to Tone, that's what I need to set up my ACH transfer from my bank. So I'll take this number, set up a transfer on my bank website. It will take a little time to clear. For ACH, that could be a day or so. Wire is an option if you need a faster transfer. Then I'll come back to Tone and we should see that our wallet balance now covers these payments. Let's see. Great. Now you can see this wallet balance after payout is now green. It shows that our wallet is funded and we're ready to issue payments. So all we have to do now is click Issue Payments and confirm. We're about to send 3 payments to 3 payees, and once sent, these payments cannot be cancelled. So I'm going to click Yes. It could take a little bit of time to deliver the payments to the payees, but now you can see that the 3 items I selected earlier are now processing. We support payouts to many countries and currencies. Occasionally, a payout will fail, even though we do validate the payee's bank details before issuing the payout. This is more common with international transfers where there are just more things that can go wrong. If that happens, Tone will handle it so that it does not become a headache. You and the payee will both receive an email to say that a payment was attempted unsuccessfully, and the payee will be asked to re-enter their bank information in the payee portal. Tone will automatically set the payee to not payable. You'll see this little green check mark will be removed until they reconfirm their bank details. At that time, you'll be able to retry the payment by toggling it again here. Once payments have been sent successfully, we'll see these statuses update to paid. We'll also be able to view these over on the payments page. This lists your full payment history. When you've finished issuing payments, you can click Close Period here. In this case, there were 2 other statements with an amount due. You can see that here and here. But these payees had not provided their details and we could not pay them. So these statement balances will be carried over to the opening balance of their next statement, which will be for Q3. And if they have entered their details in time for that, we can pay them then.